what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name's Oliver. So for today's video, we have an episode recap of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episodes 16 and 17. Once again, I am just trying to double up on them so I can catch up, but let's go and get into it, because I do have a lot of notes for both these episodes. So first, for episode 16, Shami is visiting with Dr. Harmon, mainly for Shiloh. The transfer with Asha, who is a surrogate, didn't work, unfortunately, so I think she's still trying to find another surrogate. Okay, now on to Phaedra. So her son, Dylan, has interest in fashion. Also, she's a Reiki healer. Did not realize that. She said that she and Apollo have a great co-parenting relationship, and that Aiden is more of a politician, just like her. Okay, now we go on to Kelly's divorce. So she goes to court for 4 hours. She was expecting to be divorced that day, but she was not. He went to jail that day because he didn't pay child support, and she had to get cross-examined again. But yeah, so Shamia is at Kelly's house and Angela is on the phone. They're all just talking. Kelly said she hasn't talked to Britt since Grenada. That rift is definitely there. It kind of seemed really random to me, but like, I have thoughts on this, but I'll say it during the reunion stuff, because I just watched the episode of the reunion, and interesting. Now we get onto the Williams-Sonoma cooking class. So Kelly and Charles are basically cooking waffles for people, and they had invited Angela, Phaedra, and Drew. Also, Kelly is like, she's worked with Williams-Sonoma so many different times, so she's like a brand partner, something like that. They mentioned that Britt isn't there and that something is brewing between them, which yes. I think it was Angela, Phaedra, and Drew that said that, but yeah. At the same time, Britt invites Portia and Cynthia over. They're talking about how Kelly doesn't want her whole team working with Britt. So then Britt tells Portia that Shamia showed Britt text messages between Britt and Portia. No. So then Britt told Portia that Shamia told... So then Britt showed... Oh my god. I cannot get this together. Britt... I need another take. 1 second. Oh my gosh. This is a lot. There's a lot of like connecting the dots. Okay, we can do this. Final time. Britt told Portia that Shamia showed Britt text messages between Shamia and Portia about Portia's therapist sessions. I did. Okay. Which I thought that was very weird. I'm like, okay, why would you show these text messages? But okay. Apparently it was during whenever Kelly, and Shamia were hanging out, but yeah. Anyways, back to Williams-Sonoma. They said that both the waffles taste good from both Charles and Kelly, so basically it's a tie, like no one won. Random guy comes up to Angela and is like, let's talk off camera about your husband, Charles. Just messy. I wrote in here, literally, who is this? Then they do a toast, and that same guy is like, cheers if your name is Angela and your husband is cheating on you. Why would you do that? Like, it's like you just wanted a moment. I don't like people whenever they do stuff just for moments on TV. It's like, because then people like literally just dug up stuff about his past, and like he can't go within 100 feet of a school. Interesting. Allegedly. There we go. I literally wrote in here, he wanted a moment so bad. Then Phaedra calls Portia while at Britt's house to tell her what happened. And then finally for episode 16, it's Phaedra's event. Portia calls her to tell her that Londi passed away, so she'll be missing Phaedra's party. That is so sad because it just happened like really suddenly. So I feel really bad for Portia and her family. Britt walks into Phaedra's event and is like, hi Kelly, but Kelly fully ignores her. Yeah. Then Angela said that someone paid that man Marcus to do that and go up to her. Drew showed up really late. Yeah, of course. Britt and Kelly go at it, and Britt is like, Kelly is insecure because she shared my glam squad. Kelly said that Britt got a pill-popping roommate. I think it means her husband. I think. And then Britt said, let's talk about the abortion you had in your marriage. And then Kelly is like, girl, you can't even have a kid. And then Britt calls her a hobbit. And then everyone's like, Britt, that is so low. And then Kelly's like, she's a hoe. Yeah. It's just so much is happening. That was really good. That was funny. And then Phaedra tries to use her Reiki healing energy to make her feel better. Drew is outside knocking on the door, and then they finally let her in. And then Dylan and Aiden show up, and they show the pants that they made, that they sewed together, and that they're open for pre-order. That's really cool, though. Then Shamia goes to Britt and is like, why didn't you call or text Kelly like about the divorce? Like, you didn't do that. Like, that's why Kelly's like even more mad now. Britt is like, I can't support someone who's hating on me. And then Phaedra told the girls about Londi passing away. That was the end of that episode. That was a lot. Woo, okay. Now let's get into the season finale. So this is episode 17. Portia, Phaedra, and Lauren. Portia and Lauren go over to Phaedra's house. Basically, we find out that Londi was on the phone with Lauren as she was transitioning. Really sad, but Phaedra is helping them with the funeral and everything like that. Next scene is Angela at therapy. They're talking about the guy Marcus who was talking about cheating, and then Angela said that she and Charles have been through a lot right now, but she trusts him. She and Charles were confused as to why someone would come up to her and potentially destroy her marriage. Like, that's just really weird. I feel like it just brought up a lot of, like, pain and suffering that she had suppressed from, like, previous instances of Charles's infidelity. So, yeah, she was, like, trying to hold back tears. After this, I wrote in here, Shamia is singing. I forgot why, but she was. She had a little struggle hitting the note, and Drew was like, LOL, couldn't be me. And then Britt and Kelly get into it again. And then Britt said that Kelly grew 80,000 followers in one day. So she's buying followers, I guess. Shamia said that she never showed Britt the text messages. And then Britt is like, girl, you were lying. Like, yeah. Based on, like, remember how last episode, how it said all that, yeah. So then, yeah, Shamia and Britt get into it, and then Shamia said that Britt is a lady of the night, and then Britt said that Shamia was lying about her daughter's condition. Now, Britt did say that because I think after Grenada, Shamia and Kelly went to Miami on a trip, like a little trip, and so Britt was just like, why are y'all partying up in Miami if your daughter has this condition? But still, why would you don't bring up kids, you don't do that. Anyways, after this, it's Britt and her husband trying to buy a plane. Okay. Did they even get that Ferrari that they were looking at? Okay. Then it's Drew and Ralph, and Drew just wants them to coexist without arguing, essentially. There's no other resolve after that scene or whatever. After this, it's Phaedra and her boyfriend, Chi-Chi. It was funny because Cynthia was like, now this is Mr. Chocolate. And who is Mr.? That is so funny. But yeah, they go to Chateau Elan, which that's like a winery in Georgia. They're making charcuterie boards, and I wrote in here, I was like, oh, they're cute. So yeah, they are a cute couple. Following this, it's Britt again, and like her mom moved in, like all the family's there, and then they announced to the family that they're gonna have some type of like ceremony. And then following this is like the last scene, but it's a long scene. So it's Charles Oakley's foundation fundraiser. So basically, Angela said that she and Drew met up with Marcus and that he was lying about it, but like just told them that it was Phaedra. They didn't say that to us at the time, but like based on all the interviews and everything, like we knew that they knew that it was Phaedra, which I don't know if Phaedra actually did or not, but we're gonna get into that. During the ceremony, they did honor Portia and Londi and all of Londi's hard work, so that was really nice. But Portia started crying, and so she walked out for a bit, and they all like went and like gathered around her to like help her fix her makeup, and they were just making her feel better. Finally, Angela addressed the entire group. She low-key kind of confronts Britt and is like, Britt, did you like do this? But Britt is like, I'm a married woman. Like, why would I do that? And then Kelly starts laughing, and then this like nudging Shamia. They ask like who did it, and then Drew brings Marcus over. And while whenever Marcus comes over, Charles is like basically yelling, telling Marcus to get out. Like he's like, no, you do not need to be here. Like, get out. But Angela is screaming back at Charles, telling him to trust her. It's kind of like making a scene, of course, but. Yeah, so Charles is basically known as the enforcer in the NBA. And everybody was like, he was about to enforce. He was about to lay him out right there. But yeah, then Marcus confesses that there's someone in the circle who's not happy with Angela, and he says that it's Phaedra. He then said Phaedra is like the godfather of Atlanta, and then he said Phaedra dropped off an envelope with info about Charles. I said it makes sense, but it doesn't. And Portia took the words right out of my mouth. She said it is a scheme that Todd set up. But yeah, basically Angela's accusing Phaedra of it, and Angela's saying like, I have like all his information, and then production's like, how'd you get all this information? And in her confessional, she's saying, well, basically it was Phaedra. Like, Phaedra literally called me and told me, oh, this is Marcus such and such, and he works at this place. Yeah, apparently he's friends with Phaedra's brother. Allegedly. But yeah, Phaedra's like, okay, well, you're doing all this research, but failed to tell us that you're in foreclosure. What did that have to do with anything? That was just funny. Oh, Lord. But yeah, then after this, Shamia and Kelly think that it's Britt that did this, and then Portia thinks that Angela did this to herself. Oh, that was the final part of that scene. It was just like really chaotic. But the final scene of this episode is Portia. She's finally able to film in her family home. Simon got detained while trying to enter the country, leaving the divorce on thin ice. So that's that on that episode. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did making it. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.